You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember.
Well, welcome, race fans, ladies and gentlemen, to Austin, Texas, where we visit the famed Circuit of the Americas. Tonight we run the Blues Race Designs 30 with the All-American Racing League's Best of the Best. The Truckers Feed America Cup Series will run round 4 of the 8-round regular season. Which road course expert will tame this 3.43-mile, 20-turn beast? Stay tuned to the checkered flag to find out. I'm Cliff alongside Emily in the booth, bringing you flag-to-flag coverage on Sim Racing Media's eSports Broadcasting Network. Emily, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. Getting ready for this race, as I believe there is only sectioned yellows, I am correct.
Yeah, only local cautions tonight. We're going to run pretty much to the end here, so don't miss any of the action. Stay tuned to the end. We'll talk to our top drivers, and looks like they're gridding up. We got a couple of cars left to grid, and we'll go ahead and bring up the starting order and run through it. As it looks like Travis Juggles Rodriguez is going to take the pole tonight. And surprising, Patrick McQuaid enters the race, had some internet issues just beforehand. He's going to pull off second place here. Let's see if he can finish this one out. Looks like Lilith Peters is going to start third, with Peter Terrio starting outside her there in row number 2. Cameron Harris is going to roll off 5th, with Larry Garnes on the outside of him starting 6th. Christian Delgado will start 7th, with Charlie Dickey starting 8th. Kyle Martin is going to start inside row number 5 here, and David Harris is going to start outside him, rolling off 10th. Joshua Hetrick will roll off 11th, and Brian Kaufman will start 12th. And they don't want to advance my timer here on your screen, so I'll just keep running through them.
13th going to be David Lurfano. 14th is going to be Adam Gerstein. I'll get that one day. 15th is going to be Jeremy Flanagan. 16th is going to be Justin Horton. 17th is going to be Tyrone Yo here.
Yo Jr. Tyrone Yo.
Yo Jr. Okay. 18th is going to be Jim Hubble. 19th is going to be Scott Leonard Da Vinci. And 20th is going to be Nathan Christensen. And rounding out our field tonight, and 21st is going to be Kyle.
That's Kyle Purcell, 21st, not on the racetrack, nor is Christensen. As we come to the line, green flag's going to be in the hands of the flagman. Rodriguez and McQuaid will take us to it for lap number 1 here. Green flag flies. It looks like the 9 jumps out of the line there a little bit, probably having to avoid. Oh, had an issue there, didn't get rolling. But they'll come up the hill into turn 1. Oh, Travis Juggles already having issues in turn 1 there. He's going to have to carefully get it going. But he's going to drop almost to the back now. Will drop to the back. Lilith Peters will take the lead. Peter Terrio a little bit of a distance second, and Christian Delgado running third. As we come through, I believe 3, 4, and 5 there. Don't get too mad at me tonight. I'm not a road course guy. I'll say that right off the beginning. I'm probably going to get a lot of these corners wrong. Full disclosure, just bought the track before the broadcast. Didn't even realize I didn't own it. So first time broadcasting here, and first time seeing these cars out here in the virtual world. But I will do my best here. Lilith Peters getting it woed way down. Gap behind her now, about 1.5 seconds to Peter Terrio. And then about 2.5 seconds back to the 16 machine of Christian Delgado running in our 3rd position.
I will mention, you'll definitely start seeing a lot of these cars spread out throughout the course of these 30 laps tonight, as everybody has different, times they apex of turners and turns and everything. So we're definitely going to see a lot of dive bombing like the 72. You can even see those brakes red hot.
We'll jump around here real quick as we're just finishing up lap 1 here. Lilith Peters. So what I'm going to do here is something I normally don't do. I'm going to bring up our track map just to kind of help everybody understand where their favorite driver might be on the racetrack. We will get spread out quite a bit throughout the race. As we come out of the final turn here, Lilith Peters is going to earn herself some bonus laps for leading that one, or bonus points rather. Peter Terrio will cross the line second. Christian Delgado will cross the line third. We'll run through the rest of the field here as we finish. We completed a lap. Let's see where everyone's running. Larry Garnes here in the 4th position. Behind him, we got Kyle Martin about 2 seconds back. He's up 4 spots from where he started in this 99 Chevy machine. Cameron Harris, the 27. He's down 1 spot from where he started, rolling in 6th. And then we got Zorku Jeremy Flanagan in the 72 machine, up 8 spots from where he got that start. He's rolling 7th right now. Patrick McQuaid fell back 6 spots here from 2nd. Currently running in the 8th position. He's got Travis Rodriguez hot on his tail in the 79 Toyota. We saw him start the race on the pole, had trouble in turn 1, gave a lot of drivers the opportunity to get by him. Now he's got some work to do. Probably one of the faster road course drivers out here tonight, so watch out for him to make his way towards the front. David Lorfano the 3rd in the 8 machine. He's up 4 spots to 10th. He's actually going to possibly get by Rodriguez here. Joshua Hetrick in the 25 machine running 11th. And we got Brian Kaufman in the 01 running 12th, about 1.5 seconds behind. Justin Horton in the 67s rolling 13th, with David Hara in the 15 Chevy right here in 14th. Scott Leonardo Da Vinci Leonard in the 14 Chevy is running 15th. And you got Tyrone Yo Jr. in the 2 car, up 2 spots to 16th. Jim Hubble right behind him in the 51, running 17th. Adam Angerstein running 18th. Charlie Dickey behind him in 19th. And we saw Nathan Christensen having trouble at the start there in the 3 car here. Currently about a lap down there. Back up front, meanwhile, Peter Terrio has caught Lilith Peters trying to make a pass on her here, coming down to the line. They'll be side by side coming into one. Looked like Terrio going to take a wider arch there in the 1 car, lighting those brakes up to get it woed down there, but it looks like Peters gets the preferred line through there and a little bit faster.
Yes, as I will mention in I believe it was practice or qualifying, I just saw that the 6 car kind of took a corner way too fast and got stuck on a barrier, so it's gonna be interesting.
Battle up front here. First and second place is absolutely heating up here. Let's see if we can get the time delta up here, or actually even better yet, we'll get the battle box here. Show us what we're looking at here for our top drivers. I wanted to point out here, Lilith Peters is our current points leader. Real fast driver from last season, ran a limited schedule. Confirmed with her last week that she is running for a championship here, full schedule. So holding on to her points lead, currently holding off the 6 machine. But Peter Terrio here is fast and is really working hard to try to get past this 1 car. So let's see how long the 1 car can hold him off. And as we're running lap 3 here, we've seen the 6 trying some different lines than the 1 is, and the 1's just able to hold him off so far.
Oh, yeah. And the 6 car is gonna get on the inside and move Los Peters to the outside. It's gonna be a drag race to see who can be on that inside going through the first turn. As I believe that puts the 6 car lead in a lap.
6 cars also got the advantage. They're getting into 1. Peter's a bit off track there. That's going to give the 6 to the lead to the 6 here. But don't count this 1 car out. She will fight back. Meanwhile, we'll take a look here. Christian Delgado in the 3rd position. It's now back, if I'm reading that right, about 10 seconds. 10 seconds behind the leaders. So a bit back now. The field really getting spread out. Jump up to a view from the blimp there to get just an idea of how much that actually is on the racetrack. That being said, we'll also go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor of the race. Today's race sponsored by Blues Race Designs. You can find them on Facebook at facebook.com/bluesracedesigns. They're a designer of iRacing paint schemes, primarily oval track cars. They're constantly trying new designs, new things, and improving their work. So give them a check out on Facebook. Some really great race paint schemes, and a handful in this race actually. Hillbilly Motorsports. Running some Blues Race Designs. I've actually run some Blues Race Designs and know the owner, know her pretty well. And he's actually a really great guy. Awesome designs. So check them out. And thanks to them for sponsoring tonight's race, the Blues Race Designs 30.
You can definitely tell that 6 car is putting all their effort into trying to get past that 1 car as they continue to battle it out, as this car gets a little bit loose there, just trying to get on there. I mean, we've seen from the first when the flag was thrown, that the 6 car and the 1 car are going to be battling all night as, yeah, and you see how hot those brakes are. You can just see them glowing red. That just means, obviously, they're using those brakes a lot.
They absolutely are. They're using the brakes on and off more than they would, and harder than they would at most ovals. And of course, most ovals, the turns are consistent, so the braking's consistent. But with 20 different corners, your braking's going to be much different than at an oval track, and you're gonna rely on them a lot more than you do typically on an oval track. So we're going to see that be a part of the long-term strategy here. So we are currently only on lap 5 of 30. You're going to want to have some brakes left on your car come the end of this race.
Oh yeah, but yeah, these cars. I don't know about tire wear here. I haven't ran these cars much here. I'm curious to see.
I think we lost her there a little bit. Emily's microphone cutting out. I'm sure she'll be back to let us know what she's curious to see. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and step side by side as these two leaders battle it out. We're going to keep it on the action. You won't miss any of it. So don't go away, and we will be right back.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field worked its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing it's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Live back at the racetrack. Peter Terrio in the 6 Ford now got about a 0.3 of a second gap on Lilith Peters. Peter's still holding on there in that one machine, also leading the points. Peter Terrio looking at the points now. He's holding on to the 12th spot, which is that last cutoff spot for the playoffs, which are a ways away. We're only on round 4 of 8 of the regular season. We do go to break after this scheduled race, and we'll come back to Phoenix in 2 Tuesdays. But also looking at the points standings as they were after last race, Jackson Carr second in points, not in the race here tonight. And then Patrick McQuaid in that 3rd spot was luckily able to get his internet sorted out as he's running this 77 machine around that corner. Able to hold on to what could have been a huge loss there in his point standings. Justin Horton in the 4th position on the points, currently running 16th here on the 13th on the racetrack. Cameron Harris, 5th in points after last race. He's holding on to 4th. Pretty strong race for him so far, 7 laps in. David Lorfano, 6th in points. He sits 11th. And Jeremy Flanagan, 7th in points. Currently 7th on the racetrack. Running that 72 Foxfire Foods from Kaiju Cat Motorsports. Lilith Peters, also Kaiju Cat Motorsports, holding on to that top spot. Cole Martin, 9th position in the points, also not showing up for tonight's race. Christian Delgado, 10th in points, currently 3rd on racetrack. Then Adam Angerstein, 11th in points, holding on to 14th in that 9 machine. And we talked about Peter Terrio on that cutoff spot in 12th, currently leading the race, holding off a hungry Lilith Peters to try to regain that top spot. The two of these drivers I'm looking at probably gonna be battling for most laps led when it comes to the end of the night, both getting some bonus points for leading a lap. See if the one can get it back from the 6 as the race continues.
Yes, sir. As we are 7 laps in, 4 sets of tire changes these drivers have out here tonight, and I did some research. Tire wear is moderate, and I believe they can go maybe 12 laps of fuel, maybe more. Need a double check on that one, but we're definitely coming down to when they need a pit for a green flag stop, so definitely going to shake up the field and see who's going to be in the lead.
So that'll bring us to at least 2 stops, and that can definitely shake up the end of the race here. The gap now from say 1st place back to 10th is about a minute, and you know, these cars are definitely very spread out around the racetrack. They won't get gathered back up. You know, there's no competition cautions or anything like that. They're going to race it to the end as they go, and that makes your pit strategy a little important. In the fact of you really got to know what's going on with the rest of your competitors on the racetrack. You don't want to be left out there to dry, and you don't want to be in the pits at the wrong time and so forth. I think you're right about tire wear. Not a huge issue as far as we know, or at least so far in this race. But, you know, we'll see. So we're about a quarter of the way in. Peter Terrio, Lilith Peters here now about 20 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. I'm sure the folks at home enjoying the show up front, though, but we're going to run through the field once again. The best I could do here at these road courses when we get spread out like this is kind of keep track of where all these drivers are running throughout the field. So you saw our leader, Peter Terrio, and Lilith Peters running second. I've seen enough of them so far. And we're going to highlight some of these other drivers, and we'll run through the field once again, and you can see where your favorite driver is currently rolling. Christian Delgado in the 16 machines now 4 spots to 3rd, breaking that P3 position. But he's got Cameron Harris hot on his tail in this 27 machine in the 4. He was fastest last lap, so he is moving towards the front. Watch out for Harris. Travis Juggles Rodriguez in the 79 Toyota Trouble on lap 1, turn 1. Finds himself back up to 5th, but trying to make his way back up to that top spot. Larry Gardens in the 20 having a solid run here tonight, rolling 6th place in this number 20 Chevy. Jeremy Flanagan, Zorku Nation represent. 72 is up 8 spots here to the 7th position. He's got Patrick McQuaid in the 77 about 15 seconds back, so he's got nothing to worry about yet from the 77. We'll see how that starts to play out. But Flanagan, we talked about him sitting in 7th. He's got Patrick McQuaid who's sitting in 3rd behind him, so that's going to help him out in points if they can finish that way. The 25 Toyota Joshua Hetrick up 2 spots to 9th. He's got David Lorfano in the 8 Chevy breaking top 10 here. He's up 4 spots from where he started. Nathan Christensen currently running 11th. He's now up 6 spots from where he started. Brian Kaufman in the 01. We got a good pack of cars here kind of racing it out here. This is where most of the action or closest action really is right now. Brian Kaufman in the 01, 12th place. Justin Horton in the 67 behind him in 13th, trying to make up some ground. Charlie Dickey in the 37 Toyota is holding off the 9 currently, but Adam Engerstein in the 15th spot here trying to make a pass on that 37 machine. Jim Hubble in the 51 Ford is up 4 spots to 16th. And Scott Leonardo da Vinci Leonard sitting in the 17th spot. Tyrone Yo Jr. in the 2 Ford rolling 18th with David Heron now back 9 spots to the 15. The 15 machine back 9 spots to 19th. Just getting out of the way there, having some trouble. Looks like taming this beast that is the Circuit of the Americas. Looks like Kyle Martin has pulled the 99 machine off track. And the 10 of Kyle Purcell never made it to the start. So he will grab last place there. So we'll jump back up front here as Peter Terrio continues to lead. Now has led the most laps. So he's just got to hold off Lilith Peters. And he will he'll gain bonus points for leading a lap and bonus points for leading the most laps if it continues the way we are seeing it now. It looks like Peter Terrio's fast in sector 4, or faster than Peters, but Peters is faster in sector 1 and 3, so it's a back and forth with these two, but overall looks like Peter Terrio's got the faster lap, a 2:14 to a 2:15 last time around. Travis Rodriguez running a 2:16 in that 79 machine, jumping up now to 3rd position. So this battle is going to heat up front. This is not over. We saw him have trouble. Travis did in the 79, but he's making up ground. He actually just ran the fastest lap of the race, a 2:16.27. So he is on his way to catch these front runners, and it's going to get interesting, especially in a few laps here when we get into pit stops and Travis Rodriguez catches up to these leaders.
Yes, sir. As the 6th car is now pulling away from Los Peters, something I didn't see coming, if I'm going to be honest, as they both were neck to neck. So I have a feeling the 6th car finally calmed down after having to race the 1 car back and forth for those first 5 to 8 laps of the race.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Rodriguez was kind of just quietly running up through the field. We knew he was fast. He's been fast in practice. Big props in the Discord chat from everybody on the All American Racing League's forum there, and he had a weird turn 1, and something went wrong there and lost the almost every position in the field. So he had a lot of work to do, and he did it quietly. And here he is now breaking the 3rd position. So we'll see what the next few handful of laps here have to show us, but I would say that the race for the top spots is going to heat up in at least 5-7 laps. Obviously, we've got to throw in the pit stops there. That'll be a wild card, and we'll see how that goes. We'll see if anyone plays any strategy. I think it'll be basically a four tire stop and fill her up, and let's get going for the rest of the race. Maybe try to stretch it as far as we can in this first run and make it a one stop race.
It's looking like it is a possibility, as they do coming into this race tonight with 70% field tonight, as obviously it is not a full race. So I'm saying maybe halfway now, looking at it. So definitely around lap 15, we're probably seeing people come down halfway and taking fuels and tires like you've mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll keep our eyes out when we get to that lap 15 marker. You know, in my eyes, in my mind, I'm thinking if I can make it to 15, I can make it to the end. So if I can stretch it that far, I'm going to try. But obviously, it's very hard when you're up front trying to run the fastest laps you've ever ran. So some of these guys, I think, deeper in the field might have a little bit of a better chance at it. You know, maybe conserving a little bit, not having to worry about running up front. But we'll definitely see. Strategy going to play out in the next handful of laps, so don't go away. We're going to jump side by side one more time, and we will be right back.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, the rocket! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Peter Terrio continuing to lead here at the Blues Race Designs 30 from the Circuit of the Americas. Reminder, tonight's race brought to you by Blues Race Designs. Catch them on Facebook.com/Blues Race Designs. Designer of iRace paint schemes primarily for the oval stock cars, but obviously willing to venture out, I believe. Shout out to Noah Owens for sponsoring tonight's race, and check out their Facebook page. A lot of excellent paint schemes. I did mention the Hillbilly Motorsports team, at the very least, running Blues Race Designs. So with 18 laps to go, Peter Terrio in the 6th machine continues to lead. He's got a 4.5 second gap now on Lilith Peters, and about a 21 second gap to Rodriguez. So he's sitting comfortable. He doesn't have to worry too much, but he's coming up to his start figuring out his pitch strategy. Other than that, he's just racing the racetrack right now, setting some really good lap times in the 2:14 range, just under 2:15. Lilith Peters last time around was a 2:15.22. Travis Rodriguez with a 2:15.36, so almost identical there. But Terrio just a hair faster, and that allows him to keep that 6 machine out front and run a smooth race here.
Yes, sir. As again, just looking at through the field right now, the times. Eighth place is a minute back. That just shows you how much these first place, second cars, especially at these road courses, no caution. So just again, like I mentioned before, it is just section cautions, meaning let's say a car spins out, it's just a caution for that section, and it doesn't bring out the pace car. Now, meaning that this field definitely can get stretched out, people can get laps down, and it can be hard to bounce back at these tracks.
Yeah, it sure can. You know, you talked about eighth place being that far back, and that was Patrick McQuaid, who's a really fast race car driver, and you know, he's not bad by any sense of the word, and a really, you know, one of the better road course runners for PC Motorsports, along with Cameron Harris. But you know, that just shows how I don't want to say how much better they are up front, but how good they are up front at road courses, because it's really hard to be this good at a road course.
Oh yeah, and with these cars, I mean, these cars can change anytime. I've seen it myself where one week I was practicing on it, and iRacing released a new setup for the vehicle, so I had to go relearn the whole thing. So
Yeah, they love to do that, don't they?
it definitely gets interesting out here in the sim racing world, but it wouldn't be sim racing if it wasn't interesting, right?
For sure. Both Peter's trying to gain some ground back, claw her way at any track position she can get to try to get back to Terrio. And Rodriguez doing the same, about 20 seconds back here, just trying to fight this racetrack and make up some ground after that early incident. Christian Delgado running fourth. And you got Cameron Harris running fifth. Jeremy Flanagan sixth. Larry Garnes still around the seventh spot. Patrick McQuaid, we saw him in eighth. Joshua Hetrick will be ninth, and David Lorfano the third is going to round out our top 10. So we got 17 laps to go. Speaking of Lorfano, that right there is a Blues Race Design paint scheme. I got some information here, so we're going to go through, show you some of these Blues Race Design schemes since they sponsored the race for us tonight. We'll show you some of the paint schemes that are out there running. It's like Cole Martin as well running a scheme, but actually didn't make it here tonight. Patrick McQuaid, we saw him. That's another Blues Racing Design scheme. Nathan Christensen, I get word that's a Blues Racing Design scheme, so you can see how far his reach stretches. Oh, getting a little bit of the curb there on that 3 machine. And as also David Hara in the 15 machine, another Blues design. And as I said, I've raced a handful of Blues Race Design schemes myself. Really fantastic work that he does, so go check them out. Facebook.com/Blues Race Designs.
As we are coming down to 15 laps to go, this is going to be where we're going to see if they're going to actually pit or not. To see if they want to go 50-50 or do they want to push down to the last laps that they are able to run. So this is the moment of truth right here to see if they will be coming down pit lane very soon.
Yeah, we'll keep our cameras focused on the leader here of Peter Terrio as we get to lap 15. We'll see what that team decides, and we'll see if anyone tries to jump down and get a head start on their pit stops ahead of the 6 machine. You know, you don't have much to worry about when you've got about a 10-second gap over second place, but here he goes, Peter Terrio, gonna drag that 6 machine down to his pit stall and get his services done. We'll take a look at Lilith Peters, see if Peters is going to try to stretch it one lap. This is what I was talking about. She believes she can make it one more lap. She's going to go around one more time. Hopefully that works out and doesn't that team doesn't run out. But if that strategy pays off, that could be the winning move of the race right there. Let's see who else decides to roll the dice. Travis Rodriguez is going to come down. Christian Delgado coming down as well. Cameron Harris right behind him.
But yeah, as you mentioned, the one for decided to stay out, so that pushes us, if she makes it around the field, we know they can, if saving, push it to 16 to 17 laps.
Yeah, she must have been saving a little bit there while Terrio was leading there and kind of pulling away. Maybe she was secretly just real light on that accelerator pedal and saved enough to make it one extra lap around here, which could pay off in the end. Peters regains the lead here. Let's see if she can get in and out of pit road with no troubles and possibly re-enter the track here in the lead. Terrio's back out on the racetrack.
I do have a feeling, being 19 seconds back, it will put them neck to neck if she chooses to pit this lap. If you think about it, it takes roughly 12 seconds in pit getting fuel and tires. So you got roughly a 5-second gap to get out of pits once you get those tires and fuel.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's going to make it very interesting when she comes back out on the racetrack. Peter Terrio coming around now. Let's see if Peters will decide to come down this time around. Let's bring the track map back up here. Lilith Peters will take it down pit road this time. That's going to make it very interesting. We look at Terrio out on the racetrack. Terrio's coming back down pit road here.
He might have decided to pit with her to be on the same strategy, I have a feeling.
Very interesting. We'll have to get some word on that. He's definitely stopping in his pit box. Very interesting turn of events right there. That's going to give Lilith the lead, no doubt. I'm thinking they might have missed something, had a loose lug wheel or something. Had to bring it back down pit road. That's going to be very detrimental for this 6 machine.
Yes, as he comes back out on the track, we'll definitely have to get him back in this booth, depending on if he stays in that 3rd position. But now he's going to have some work to do to catch that 79-1 card. But I have a feeling he's going to be able to do it. I mean, he was able to hold off that 1st place spot from Lilith Peters. So definitely going to start seeing him push up to get into that 1st place spot again.
Getting some word here from Race Control in the chat that it was Terrio getting hit with a speeding penalty.
Ah, yep, that will do it, but still. I mean, I know at plate tracks as well as the mile-long oval tracks, if you get a speeding penalty, that puts you a lap down. But these tracks, you don't go a lap down. Sometimes you might be lucky, as the 6 car was, and came out still in 3rd place after a speeding penalty.
Yeah, it's a really good point and observation. He had to do basically a stop and go for whatever it is, 40 seconds or whatnot, and he's only in 3rd place, so he could have lost a lot more, especially at a smaller oval. It being a road course, just under 3.5 miles, he had some buffer there and able to get back out on racetrack. He is about 18 seconds behind the leader, so he's got a good amount of work to do here. But we saw that he can get it done, but he's going to have to fight pretty hard. Meanwhile, Rodriguez is going to grab that second spot back, or not back, but he is now in second, now looking at the first position, about 13 seconds to catch Peters. So he's also got some work to do, but two fast drivers we know that they can get it done here. It's just going to be a matter of playing it safe, playing it smooth, and making it to the end here as we got 13 to go. And we're coming down towards the end. It's a pretty big racetrack, so we're not quite, we're not there yet, but it is winding down. This is the last part of the race where you really got to be concentrating and try not to make any mistakes.
100%. I know myself when attempting, I'm not even gonna say racing, attempting to put my car out on these road courses. Let me just rephrase that. Coming down to these last laps, these drivers got to be extremely careful as they've already made it 17 laps. They got to make it 13 laps more. And as we're watching the 6 car now, you can definitely see that he's running those corners and working his best to be able to get up there. As how far is he from the main pack? I have a feeling he's gaining right now.
He's about 24 seconds behind the leader, Terrio is. But yeah, he's definitely running. Well, he ran a good second half of that last lap, but unfortunately not quite as fast as the leader at a 2:53 to Lilith Peters is 2:49. I'm watching out now for that 79 machine running a 2:15 last tap around, so he is much faster than Peters and Terrio right now. And we might just see that 79 machine quietly retake this lead and possibly a win here after a pretty good sized oof at the start of this race. I'm hoping that we get to talk to Rodriguez at the end of the race, whether it be on the podium or some other form. I'd like to know what happened there on lap 1. I'm thinking cold tires, cold brakes, a little too much brake pressure locked him up, and did the right thing of just kind of sliding out of the way and letting the rest of the pack get by, which obviously makes your race a lot harder, but it's the respectable thing to do. So I'm interested to see what happened there in turn 1 for the 79 team. 12 laps to go here at Circuit of the Americas here in sunny Texas. Daytime here in Sim, possibly daytime where you are. It's nighttime where I live. And
Same here.
we run these races here at night in the real world. But it's been a great night here so far. Pretty clean at this road course. Don't get me wrong, my timing and scoring is going crazy with all kinds of cars going off track, and these guys are giving it their all, and that means you definitely find yourself off track just a bit here and there, but no major incidents that I've seen, and it's been pretty clean from what I can tell.
I don't want to say this. I'm gonna knock on wood before I say it. The 6 car, Peter it just ran a 2:14.15, faster than first and second. He's definitely running roughly 2 seconds, a second and a half faster than first and second. So I feel like he's gonna be able to do it. As he is closing that gap down.
Yeah, I wouldn't count him out for sure. I think what we're seeing is a little bit of aggression, and he's trying to hone that into, trying to race hard because he did, speeding penalties are one of the worst ways you could throw your race away, especially when you're as fast as you are here, as Peter has been. So I think he's got a little bit of a vendetta against himself to work his way back to the front here, and what that means is he's really gonna have to race his butt off. Which he's doing. He's laying down some of the fastest laps we've seen throughout the night, and closing that gap to Rodriguez is now just under 11 seconds. So he does have a ways to go, but consistently running a little bit faster times than the 79. Quite a bit faster than the 1. Go ahead.
As the surprisingly 79 car and 1 car are running faster times than Lils Peters, so both of them running about the same times. That lap, the 79 car running at a 2:14.02, and the 6 car running at a 2:14.73. Both of them still at least a tenth faster than the leader. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can come up with 11 laps to go, and so it's going to be a second place battle or even first place battle.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm starting to wonder now too if Peter having to come down and serve that penalty, probably getting a splash of fuel while he did it. I wonder if that's going to come into play at the end. We might see Peters. Well, actually, we saw Peter stretch it out, and actually, she put it on lap 16, which Terrio also did. So that might actually be even now. Now that I think that thought fully through.
I have a feeling since Lils Peters pushed that out of lap, that worked favor for her moving up into this lead, as pulling 22-second gap from third place and 11-second gap from second place. So roughly 12-second gap. But the 6 car is definitely closing in, as he's gone down at least 3 seconds from what he was before. So
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about Peters. I think that's going to play out into her favor. Terrio's going to have to work really hard and probably work the car a little harder than he wants to, burn a little more fuel than he wants to, just to catch up to second place. And then he's going to have to pass him and then maybe make his way up to Peters. So he's going to have to really burn up his car to get that done, and he's running out of time. 10 laps to go here. Is a good amount of race to go, but time is definitely ticking away now as we are in the last leg of this race, with 10 to go here, last third anyway.
yes, sir. As Lils Peters runs a 2:13.88 for that lap.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's the fastest lap of the race.
It's not. I believe Rodriguez ran a faster lap earlier. Best lap here. No, you know what? You are right. That is the best lap of the race thus far.
I don't think it's updated correctly, though. Comparing to best lap to the last lap, though, if you check that. Interesting.
Yeah, you might be right. We might be wrong in our information, but a blazing fast lap nonetheless. Definitely one of the fastest laps out here.
Yes, I think that's the first time I think I've ever seen a lap in the 13th at this track anytime I've ran here.
Yeah, we're gonna keep our eyes on that and see if that changes. But if that doesn't change, that's definitely the fastest lap of the race. So we'll keep our eye on that.
Yeah, but she's definitely moving and grooving out here tonight, keeping that first place spot, putting time between her and second place. So if she does happen to make a mistake, she can recover and push on. That's something personally I would do, is get enough gap just in case I make a mistake and where I can sit comfortable at.
Yeah, absolutely. And a quick thought from Jeremy Flanagan himself, actually, from Kaiju Cat Motorsports, giving basically huge props to Lils Peters being the undisputed ruler of road courses among the full-time racers here at AARL. Basically said her doing so well, barring any catastrophic circumstances, is basically her race to lose. She's showing it here tonight, and we'll see how she does towards the end, and hopefully she can bring this one Kaiju Cat Motorsports machine to victory lane and make her team owner proud. Almost expected at this point, but don't count out Rodriguez. We saw the 6, who's been very fast and ticking off some really great lap times, but Rodriguez has got the advantage there, being only about 12 seconds back, and also another very fast road course racer. So we'll see if the 79 can catch the 1. But I'd say the only one out here who's got an opportunity left to catch Peters and actually make something happen there. I think Terrio would have to first, of course, catch the 79 and then get past the 79 before he could even make a move towards the front. So I would say it's Peters' race to lose. Rodriguez could possibly make a run towards the front here and give her something to worry about, but I honestly don't see that happening. I think what we're seeing is 1, 2, 3 here playing out. Let's go ahead and as this winds down, we'll jump through the field one last time, and you can see where your driver has ended up thus far with 9 to go here. We talked about Peters leading this race, obviously getting a bonus point for leading, and now hoping to lead the most laps. I don't actually have a metric on who's led the most laps so far, but we'll see, and that driver will get an extra, I believe, 10 bonus points for leading the most laps. Could be Peters, could be Terrio. I believe it might be handed to Peters now that this race plays out. But moving on to second place, we saw Travis Rodriguez have that unfortunate incident there in turn 1, lap 1, locking him up and having to let the field get by. Makes his way all the way back up to second place, just about 11 seconds back from Lilith Peters. The number 6 Ford of Peter Terrios find himself in third place after a stop-and-go penalty for speeding in the pits on our what would have been his one and only pit stop. About to come back down and serve that penalty. Fortunate enough to wind up only third on the lead lap, so not too bad as far as penalties are concerned. Cameron Harrison, the 27 machine, is sitting in fourth. He started in fifth, so he's up 1 spot. Trying to make up some ground here. About 20 seconds back from Terrio, so probably just racing the race course at this moment and trying to finish strong. We got Christian Delgado in the top 5 spot. The 16 Ford having a solid race here. Made up 2 spots from where he started to 7th. He's got an opportunity to possibly catch up to Harris and get one more spot here before this one's over. Larry Garnes in the 20 Chevy also having a solid day here in the top 10. 6th position here as we run 8 laps to go. And then it's back to Jeremy Flanagan just behind him in the 72 machine. He's up 8 spots to 7th. Solid day for the 72 Kaiju Cat Motorsports car. Patrick McQuaid in the 77 almost didn't make this race. Entered this race third in points and had some internet issues. Able to get on racetrack and run this race. Looks like he's running 8th, and solid day for him as well. David Lorfano, the third of Hillbilly Motorsports, is up 5 spots to 9th. Another quiet, solid day for David Lorfano. Nathan Christensen behind him, up 7 spots to the 10th position, running that 3 Chevy. Brian Kaufman not right behind him, about 9 seconds back. In the 01 machine, he's up 1 spot from where he started to 11th. Then about 16 seconds back, you've got the 67 machine of Justin Horton. Did jump up 4 spots from where he started. He's going to find 12th position. Adam Angerstein in the number 9 Toyota, currently running 13th position. That's actually where he started this race. So hasn't moved up or down. He has throughout the race, but currently right where he started. Jim Hubble in the 51 machine gained 6 spots from where he did start. So pretty good advancement for the 51 Ford there. Rolling 14th spot at the moment. Scott Leonard in the 14 Chevy, up 4 spots from where he started to roll 15th. about 22 seconds behind and about 28 seconds ahead of the 15 machine of David Hara. Hara holding on to the 16th. Bassad did drop back 6 spots to where he's at now. So having a rough time out here, but I know Hara's more of a oval racer, and he'll be the first one to tell you that he is not a road course guy. Charlie Dickey in the 37 Toyota holding on to 7th place, down 9 spots. Then you got the 2 back about 42 seconds on racetrack to Tyrone Yo Jr. Then you got Joshua Hetrick here in the pits in the 25 machine. I believe this team just about calling it a night. Kyle Martin, yes, as the 25 machine engine troubles there, as you saw some smoke from the coming out from under the hood there. So back up front, Lilith Peters continuing to dominate here. Had some trouble, or not necessarily trouble, just some real good competition there from the 6 early on in this race, but we saw Peter Terrio having some trouble speeding out of pits, having to come down for a stop and go that's pretty much going to hand that lead back to Lilith Peters, and she has set sail from there. Has now led the most laps. Going to come out with a lot of bonus points. Definitely going to pad her lead, which is currently, well, entering this race was 5 points up from Jackson Carr. Jackson Carr did not enter this race, so that's going to put a pretty big buffer there in front of him, and Patrick McQuaid, 3rd position entering the race, running 8th. So a really good day for Lilith Peters, the Kaiju Cat Motorsports team. And that's going to give her a pretty good buffer heading into the off week for when we get back to Phoenix. Quick rundown here of the schedule. We did mention we're going to a break next week and then Phoenix the following week, but then we're going to go to the Worldwide Technology Raceway, Nashville, and Iowa. So a pretty decent mix of different racetracks coming up. We saw a lot of super speedways in the beginning of this season and then a road course thrown in there. We're going to go to some shorter tracks as this season progresses. And yeah.
Can't wait for Iowa. Home track, actually, of me.
Good deal. Iowa, an awesome track. Really fun to race at and a really good show. Hopefully we get a good show and a good group watching at home like we do each and every week. We thank you guys for being loyal watchers to the All-American Racing League Topsail Truckers Feed America Cup Series each and every week. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't, and hit that bell notifications if you want to get a ping every time the channel goes live. We've got racing throughout the week. A lot of racing tonight alone, as we've got I believe a triple header tonight on Tuesdays, and just all kinds of action throughout the week. Check our channel out if you aren't a subscriber and you're into this sort of stuff. You will enjoy what we've got to offer. Amazing team of broadcasters and commentators alike, and we have a blast putting on these shows for you.
Yes, as the 79 car is now 8 seconds back from Peters. Definitely gaining. Last time I checked and looked at it, he was 12 seconds. So he is pushing that car, and 7 seconds now moving in that car. 5 laps to go. It's really going to be the good question to see if he's able to push that car and catch Peters.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and we talked about it. Travis Rodriguez just quietly almost inching up and finding his way back to that first position. He's not running, amazingly faster lap times than Peters, but every little tenth is helping him. And I think what we're going to see is it really come down to the last couple laps where he might have an opportunity to get to the bumper of the one car and maybe make a pass there for the lead.
Yes, sir. As we're coming down 5 laps to go, like I've mentioned, yeah, as the 79 car starts getting loose there, definitely tells you that the tires are starting to, I don't know, I wouldn't say moderate usage, I guess. But it depends on how you're pushing your car this late in the race.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm thinking, I bet a lot of these cars in this field are just worn out. Sometimes it takes everything you've got, and it also takes everything your car has, just to stay relevant here in this race. So a lot of these cars in the field probably worn out. I think some of these front runners probably are a little bit better at maintaining their car, and it's a little bit of a highlight here to the 27 machine running a 2:14.92. That's his fastest lap of his race. Not the fastest lap of the entire race, but very close. But Cameron Harris here in the 27 up another spot to fourth, and not gonna be able to catch third place, but obviously a real strong run here at the end.
Yes, sir. As we are 4 laps to go now. Man, I can't believe we're already down to 4 laps to go. It seems like we just started this race.
Well, with you're right, and with road courses and not having any cautions, it does go by fast. There's not a lot of real close action, but it is what it is. For what it's worth, it's a lot of fun. It's different. It's not oval racing. It's not side by side, nose to tail racing like we've seen in the past few weeks. But it's still as exciting, and it's something that if you're gonna come out and run for a championship in a league like this, you're gonna have to know what you're doing, or at least get some practice in and survive this race. You could either not show up and get 0 points, or you could get out here and at least run the laps that are allotted and get somewhere mid-pack, or at least get some points onto the board. And without, I believe they have a drop race. Yeah, they have a drop race here in this league. So if this is the only race you don't run, I guess you could drop those points. But if you're gonna run for a championship,
that's something I might do.
Yeah,
if that's me. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, if you're gonna, if you're gonna drop one race, this might be the race you do it. But if you're running for a championship, I think your best bet is to show up at every race, at least gain some points at every race. Knowing that you might get into some real bad trouble at another racetrack that could end up worse than this. So, I don't really know where I'm going with that thought. Just that if you're gonna run for a championship, I guess you're gonna have to expect some road course racing, and you might want to work at getting better at it if possible. Not that I'm any good, but
Same here. But yeah, coming down to the line, 3 laps to go. Lewis Peters is your leader. Second place is going to be 79 car Rodriguez. Third is going to be the 6 of Terholt. Fourth is going to be Harris, and rounding out your top 5 is going to be 16 car Delgado. And that is your top 5 cars running out. 3 to go.
Yeah, for sure. Peter's getting by a lap car there. That's the 2 of Tyrone Yo back in 18th spot.
And that's going to allow Travis Rodriguez to gain some time on her. As I just saw him go from 9 seconds down to 7-second gap. So that did cost her some time. These lap cars are going to make it interesting. I'm really wanting to see this first place and possibly second place battle coming up soon.
Yeah, me as well. I'm keeping that number in the corner of my eyes, and man, did it jump up real fast. You're right about that, and it's slowly ticking off. He's down to 7 seconds, that gap between first and second. Do not rule Travis Rodriguez out. He's definitely racing his heart out right now and trying to close that gap to the 1 car. Let's actually jump to the blimp view here and see if we can't get a bit of an understanding of what that looks like on racetrack, as it now the gap is just under 7. As we see Peters here in the one car rounding turn 20 and coming to the line. And then Travis Rodriguez just behind her doing the same. So let's jump to the cockpit of the 79 machine, and we'll go a lap around here with him and see if he can close that gap at all.
Yes, sir.
He's about 6.5 seconds now. Smooth downshifts through the gears. And the biggest thing he can do here is not worry about where Lilith is, and just mentally stay focused on racing just the racetrack, and that's going to be his best bet to catch her.
Yes, sir. And it has gone down to almost got under 5 seconds. But still, that is a major time. He's gained at least 6 seconds, if not. So he's definitely pushing to catch Lilith Peters, but I don't know. We'll see.
It's going to come down to some of the final corners in the final lap. As we're 2 to go, we're coming, let's see where Peters is.
And we can see both of them now on our screen, so that tells you that they're definitely getting close to each other.
Absolutely. Peters rounding turn 17, it looks like, and 18. Coming down to the final corners here to grab that white flag. And Travis Rodriguez kind of leveling out a little bit, just under 7 seconds on that gap. So I think Peters got the word that Rodriguez was catching her and is starting to put a little bit of the fire left that she's got. Flagman waving that white flag.
As Rodriguez hit a 2.13.5. And this lap is gonna be running a 2:14.17. So he is running a faster lap time than Lilith Peters, and coming down to the line is gonna be this final lap to see if he can make it. It'll come down to if Lilith Peters makes a small mistake, and Travis is hoping that she does, but from what we've seen tonight, I feel like it's going to be smooth on and possibly going to be winning this tonight. Knock on wood. Gotta make sure I do that. Can't have a broadcaster curse out here tonight on the last lap. I'll definitely get that hate mail sent over to my way.
Yeah, Peters will probably be looking up your address if that were to happen. All that aside, though, it's her race to lose right now. In order for her to lose, she would have to make some type of a mistake. In my mind, we got Rodriguez here is about 5.8 seconds back now, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to quite catch her and pass her. As she's coming into turn 12, less than 10 turns to go. We got 20 turns out here. Less than 10 sounds crazy. But as she comes through in her, these final back and forth turns and straights here, and she comes into what is 17 and 18 here, it's really going to be, like I said, her race to lose. Rodriguez back 5.1 seconds now. Peter Terrio still holding on to that third spot with Harrison fourth. Christian Delgado continues to hold on to the fifth spot. No major changes throughout the field as I look through. So not really missing much. Keep an eye on the ticker if you want to see where your driver is running. But here we go. Lilith Peters will come to the checkered flag as she rounds the final corner here at Circuit of the Americas for the Blues Racing Designs 30. The number 1 car crosses the line first place. Rodriguez does an amazing job at finding his way back to second position with just under a 5-second gap when they finish. So a huge shout out to him. Peter Terrio is going to come across the line in third as he comes through turn 20 right here. Cameron Harris about 30 seconds back in fourth. And then it's another 30 seconds back to where Christian Delgado is in fifth place. Larry Garn sixth, Jeremy Flanagan seventh, Patrick McQuaid eighth. Lorfano and McQuaid here got a little bit of a battle they had going on. Christensen 10th. So some pretty close racing there, 9th, 10th, and well, I say close, but close in the grand scheme of road courses, I guess.
As you see, Lil Peters, she's definitely sent her car into that wall and happy for that win.
Yeah, was that an exciting crash into the wall? Maybe just about out of fuel?
We'll find out.
Absolutely. So Peters comes across the line in the top spot. We will get our top 3 drivers in the booth, so don't go away. Oh!
I don't know why I saw that coming.
I believe.
I just want to watch this corner for a bit, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna jump to the blimp view here, and let these guys have some fun after what was absolutely had to be a grueling 30 laps here at this racetrack. Just back and forth on the wheel all day long, shifting all day long, using your feet way more than you probably would ever at a oval, and just a workout overall, I would say. So let's go ahead and take a look here if we can get our third place driver.
Yep.
Peter
Terrio.
Terrio.
This is Emily, Urias, and Cliff in the booth. You got a copy.
Yep, I got you.
What was going through your mind? We found out by race control that you got to stop and go, but you still finished third. What was running through your mind? And I mean, it really wasn't bad though. It could have been way worse.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like I had the best car and was just an idiot. I mean, I had a 10-second gap coming in, just like coming into the pits, decided not to take tires, and normally when you're coming out of the box, iRacing gives you a little bit of a buffer, but I guess this time it didn't. So, and then after I served it, I was maybe going to have a chance to catch Travis, and man, I got absolutely destroyed by #1 idiot on the track. Lap car just completely pulled back on the track after spinning out and hit me, and when I mentioned it to race control, they basically just told me to shut up about it, so you can see where their priorities are at.
Well, P3 here at a racetrack like this, not too shabby. I do agree with you. You had one of the faster cars out here and was dominant early on. But as Emily alluded to, you know, coming back out on racetrack after a stop and go could have been a lot worse. You could go laps down. Fortunately for yourself, this being the road course it is, you came back out on third and were able to hold on there. Hopefully after the break you come back to Phoenix with a little bit of a better run, and maybe we'll get to talk to you again at the end of that race.
Yeah, hopefully I can finally get one.
Well, Peter, anyone you want to give a shout out to before we send you back?
Chad Snyder, Rebellion Graphics, Fanatec, Ford, Dominion Motorsports, my teammate Christian, and the Bean team, and obviously Lilith for winning.
I copy that. Well, rock and roll, man. I appreciate you giving us a moment of your time and letting us know how your race went down.
Thank you.
Well, that was our P3 driver. Up next, Travis Rodriguez, the 79 Toyota. Travis, Cliff and Emily in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Man, a pretty wild race for you at the beginning there. Starting on the pole, getting into turn one a little heavy. It looked like basically had to let the whole field get by, and then from there on out, it was a fight to get back to the front. Man, congrats anyway for grabbing P2 after all that work. But take us through your race there.
And for one, it's definitely felt like a good recovery drive to get at least back up to second. But yeah, I just P1 figured carrying less speed, pushed the braking zone a bit, and missed it by that much. And got just carried a little too much and pushed the car wide and tried to do something to get it to rotate and spun. As far as after that, I mean, pit stops, I didn't take any tires just to try to make up time, and the unfortunate penalty Peter got kind of helped me out as far as staying up there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looked like thereafter, all that went down, and you're really fighting there towards the end with about 5 to go. You were starting to really close that gap. Was there any moment in your mind that you counted yourself out, or were you just giving it all you had to try to make it back up to P1?
It was kind of the same story in the truck race, if I'm honest. I made a kind of a dumb mistake and had to make up time, and the difference being that this time at least I was able to make less mistakes. I at one point I was like, all right, I'm gonna let it ride out and just finish the race, and then I kind of I got into that. I think what a lot of people might do is check the relative every lap or so, or half a lap. And I was like, oh, it's coming down. Let's keep
Yeah.
pushing.
Yep.
Let's keep pushing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We were doing the same thing here up in the booth. We kept the corner of our eyes. We kept that gap number between you and first place, and amazingly enough, just kept ticking down and down and down. I think with another few laps, you probably would have been able to catch her. But P2, not too shabby. We'll send you back to celebrate. But anybody you want to give a shout out to before we do?
If I'm honest, just two people that are in the league, Josh Hetrick and David Lafano, for letting me come into all this. This has been a new experience with iRacing, and I love this. Like, instead of getting into league racing has been the best thing that I've ever done when it comes to iRacing. So those two guys.
Awesome, man. And it's definitely an awesome league to be a part of. You picked a
Oh,
good one.
definitely.
All right, man. Well,
Definitely.
congrats again. Hopefully, we get to talk to you again after the break here at Phoenix.
Let's hope so. Thank you.
Travis Juggles grabbing second place. We'll now grab our race winner, Lilith Peters. Cliff and Emily in the booth. You got us?
Hi.
Well, hello there. Congrats, P1. Amazing race. One of the most dominant cars here tonight. I guess my question would be, at the end there, were you worried about that 79 machine, or did you know you had this one in the bag?
I was running like 90% just in case because it's so slippery out there. But yeah, I didn't notice him. I was a little scared the last couple laps, but I had it, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. And in the beginning of the race, the 6 car obviously, I would say, giving you the most trouble. What did you think about the
He's
6
fast.
car? Yeah, and was there any worry, kind of, with the initial? Well, the only pit stop you guys made, you stayed out a lap. Take us through your thoughts there, and then was there any worry once Peter came back out on track third after a stop and go penalty?
Yeah, I was sandbagging the first stint just in case I needed to save. I wasn't 100% sure. So I was kind of worried I'd have to go too hard to catch him the second stint, but I guess he hamlined himself or something.
All right, well, there you have it, folks. No one was going to touch Lilith Peters here tonight, running at about 90% all night, and that's that. Well, heck of a run. Emily, any questions for Lilith?
No, not really. But amazing race out there tonight. Again, no race next week. Glad to see you out here tonight and running for a championship. See you 2 weeks from now at Phoenix.
Yeah, I don't think I'll go back to back to back, but hopefully I can do something in Phoenix.
Well, we're not going to count you up here in the booth. We've seen it before with other drivers. So, we'll see. Maybe you got some luck coming your way.
Yes, sir. I would like to thank Jeremy again. He puts me in the car, and I wouldn't be here without him. I'd like to thank my sponsor, foxfirefoods.com. You can get that steak sauce on the hood.
Hey.
I also have a secondary sponsor for this race. Is twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13. He's the little faces on the car. Cracked me up for hours when I saw it. Go ahead and
Excellent.
follow him if you can on Twitch.
Awesome. Well, awesome. Congrats again. Amazing race. No one could touch you out here tonight. We'll see how you do after the break when we come back to Phoenix. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk to you again. Nonetheless, still sitting pretty up there in the top spot and leading the drivers here in the championship points. So congrats.
Yeah, thank you guys for broadcasting, and see you guys in a couple weeks.
There you have it, folks. Lilith Peters showing us how to get it done here at Circuit of the Americas, sunny Texas. That will do it for our race. Let's go ahead and bring up our results and get you our rundown of our finishing spots. There we go. So Lilith Peters, as we just heard from, coming across the line in that top spot, about 5 seconds ahead of the 79 of Travis Rodriguez, hoping for some mistakes or maybe a few extra laps, but unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, finishing second, you can't complain about that. P2 is not too shabby. Peter Terrio in the 6th Ford after a stop-and-go penalty comes back out in 3rd and will finish there on the P3 on our podium. Cameron Harris in the 27 machine worked his way up one spot throughout the race to finish 4th. Christian Delgado finishes 16th in the... Christian Delgado in the 16 machine finishes 5th. Larry Garn is going to finish 6th. Jeremy Zorku Flanagan's going to finish 7th, gains 8 spots throughout the race. Patrick McQuaid, our 3rd position in the points, championship points coming into this race, finishes 8th. David Lorfano finishing 9th, up 5 spots. Nathan Christensen is going to round out our top 10, up 7 spots from where he started. Go ahead.
And 11th's going to be Brian Kaufman. 12th is going to be Justin Horton. 13th's going to be Adam Anderstein. 14th's going to be Jim Hubble. 15th's going to be Scott Leonard. 16th's going to be Charlie Dickey. 17th's going to be David Para. 18th's going to be Tyrone Yo Jr. Then 19th's going to be Joshua Hetrick. Running out your top 20 is going to be Kyle Marin. Then running out your field tonight is going to be finishing 21st. Is going to be Kyle Purcell, my bad.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching, first and foremost. And we appreciate you joining us here tonight for this running of the Blues Race Designs 30 from Circuit of the America. Reminder, we are off next week, or at least the All-American Racing League Truckers Feed America Cup Series is off next week, and then we'll come back the following Tuesday, same time at Phoenix. A little bit of a different scenario and racetrack, so really excited to see that. Be sure to join us. Hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed the show, and hit that bell notifications if you want to get a ping every time we go live. But as far as that goes, thank you for watching, and for everybody back at Sim Racing, we really appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.